Oh, welcome back. Like we said in the previous video, I'm gonna start using ChatGPT. See if I can write this code. So what I've done in the meantime is I started with something. So basically, see if I can do this in a big screen. No, not that. Okay, so basically, if you look at what I want to do, this is the index file, the main file. So basically, this will be the screen, camera screen. We've got a button on the lower right. It will take you to settings, and we've got individual cameras that's set up. So I've started writing an entire section of code, or not code, instructions basically. So for AI, you need to give instructions of what you want. So I said, come on. So create a JavaScript HTML code to set up and use CCTV RTSP video stream for remote streaming camera onto the Pi. So I've given it all of these statements, and I try to clarify each statement as much as possible. And the statement actually continues to the bottom here. So if I can let me just bring this back. So again, if we take it to the bottom, it's going to get there. Okay. So you can see I went all the way out of the screen and eventually gave it some GUI instructions. So it must be touchscreen, and where possible it must be dark background. Then code based, I gave it some other peripherals as well. So I said, um, besides from CCTV, because that's the file we've been using all the time, it must still keep that file, but it can add other files to it. On the on-with side, I've done some on-with discovery, and instead of me having to pull all of that in again and write it over, I want to see what AI is going to do. Got auto camera failover, we've got Wi-Fi connection management. Again, recording using FFmpeg. There's a lot of videos on that on this topic. Not by myself, other people. We're gonna have a USB export button. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy all of this. So I'm copying all of this, not that, this, and I'm gonna add it into ChatGPT. I'm gonna tell it to start doing something. So it's analyzing. Give me a structure. So config file. There's my form. So this is the JavaScript, and that one was the config. I don't see index HTML yet, so it's getting there probably. There's the index of auto failover video. Not a very long index file, which is nice. So we've got a button at the bottom. We've got clock. We've got image that is CCTV. I take it's gonna have a JavaScript somewhere to run this. It's got a client JavaScript. So this client, it looks like it's for the cameras. Then we've got the touch user interface. It's public client JavaScript index. I'm just running through it while I'm talking to you. And this is the main node. Okay, so it's doing what I've told it to do. This is still compiling, but that still moves up and down. So we've gone the index one, we've gone the client side. We've got user interface, the CSS file, which is nice. And it also tells you where it sits. So this is the py status HTML file. This is the settings that's password protected. Contains all of that. And there's the discovery file, JavaScript discovery file. There's a recorder file. There's a hardware file, which is nice. So network, also network. Then he's asking me next steps you can think. Auto follower to next online camera. On off. So there's a couple of things you can add to this. Before I do this, okay, so then I can say packages as a ready to run install. Add system D auto start now. We've done that already. File interrogation, that sounds nice. So on the profile interrogation. On HLS streaming fallback instead of MJPEG. One thing I might add is this. So add the full on. So I'm going to add that. So it's going to go through my whole program again. What I'm going to do is just add it to this line as well, because I would like to see. Now this is great. Okay, and so it's asking me another few questions. Now it just tells me okay, so what I first need to do actually is download the previous files. Okay, so drop in place on with HTML file. This is the earlier lightweight module. Okay. So that's how it works. When the camera is configured to detect, connect to Onwurf, reach the device metadata, enumerates a file, and so forth and so forth. And then the form CCTV, that's also updated. Just want to see if it's also replaced. Yeah, so okay, so start camera stream. I need to replace with this. Okay, so I think the first thing we need to do is let's go all the way up. And we start creating this whole structure on the Raspberry Pi. So I'll have this whole structure created. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Visual Studio and I'm going to start creating all these folders, all these files. And I'll bring you guys back after that. Okay, so I went and created all of these files. And what I'm going to do now is simply go through all of ChatGPT's information and copy. For example, I'll copy the farm.js code and I'll go to farm.js, farm CCTV.js here, and I will paste it and save it. And I will do this now for every from JS. The next one will be so for file over. So we've got index.html. I'll copy the index code, and on this side we've got the index. And I'll paste it there. And this I will do for each and every section of code that's been given to me. Client, copy the client, and as clients up there, and so forth. I'm going to move this to the side. Okay, for now, I'm not going to run through this whole source code. Just like you guys have seeing it for the first time, I'm also seeing it for the first time. I haven't tested it. It might not do anything. It might work. I've got no idea. So, based off our previous videos, this Visual Studio is running directly off the pod. So we've got the network, we've got our Pi, which is currently that one. We've been showing the same image for a long time now. Let's move that to the side. So all of this is located on the Raspberry Pi. So technically, if you want to see one thing in my config file, we've got Wi-Fi setup. You know what? I'm not going to change any of this yet. I want to see if I can log in. So the password is 1234. So let's reboot the Raspberry Pi and let's see what happens. So we actually don't need to reboot. We can just restart it. So I'm going to stop it here and I'm going to restart it, and it crashes because we don't have all the modules installed. So sudo npm init yes version, let's make it 2.0.1. Then I'm going to start installing what needs to install, all the dependencies. I think there might be quite a lot. So sudo npm npm install xml. Let's see if that works here. To JS, and let's add it to the dependency list. And let's see what's next. On with. So I'm just going to say on with. on with here. This is going to take some time. I'll run through it quickly. And you've got an error in the code. So this is where the difficult part starts, is debugging somebody else's code. This side is the AI's code if we need to debug. So config, cameras, camera, config. So where do we get config from? Cameras, and there's a camera. Okay, so go back here. See what's happening here. We start the camera strings there, and then it doesn't like that. Can't see that. Can I read properties of undefined reading each? So what I've done here was I said in the form CCTV when it explains complaints about this line, and I gave him that section from the line. That's to ChatGPT. And it's a good catch. There's no my catch, it's Linux catch. And it gives me a string to replace it. So I've copied the string. Insert it here and I saved it. So let's try it again. Okay, from 88. So that's one of the mistakes. So let's fix that. So that will be my config that was taken. So let's look for 88. There's no 88 here. So maybe it is in my main program. You can just look for 88. There it is, support. That we will change to 2000 and save it again. Just completely wrong sequence. We don't use that style, but in any case, let's move forward. So we've got status, CPU temp, 100% free space, 50 gig free, fan speed doesn't 200 RPMs. We can go over to recordings. So there's nothing in the recordings. We might need to list the recordings list. So let's so what we're going to do is add to the recording. Just confirm that that's a recording. To recordings.html. Recordings.html web page, the listed videos, each video length when saved should not be more than 1 minute in length. Let's see what it comes back with. So it tells me make these changes. Design keeps each 64 pixels. Server side 1 minute rolling. So we're gonna add the recordings folder. Let's do that via here. So let's add a folder there saying recordings. Right, so we've done that. Add to the form. Okay, so we're going to copy that. And it seems to be part of the JavaScript. Let's go back to here. Recordings and save it there. And then recording writer, 60-second segments. This attaches to each stream. And it says recording writer, but where do we add this to the form.js? Okay, so we've added that. It attaches to active stream. So where do we add this? This attaches to each active RTPS stream. And I've got no idea where to add it. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to have a look at it in here for now. If it's wrong, then it will fail, so that's fine. Stream, so at the end of that, start camera stream. start camera stream at the end of that. So we need to end of this one add this, and then also it doesn't know this fill. That's interesting. Optionally stop recording if stream dies. So add root. Let's add it to the bottom here. I'm thinking I'm stuffing this up. Loop. Front end. Listing player. And it seems to me recording as my listing, because it was a complete new code. Seems to be in complete new code. Newest first starts with top section, so I'm copying this whole code over. Okay. So let's go back in here, cancel it, start from scratch in this file system. So I need to install that. npm install fs and add it to my. Okay, so let's try again. Okay, so complaints about fs already declared. That's in line 167. See if that's correct. So should not ask for it twice. There it is. Or the file writer says on top of part fs. So let's go down again. This should go out. Come on. Saving it. Let's run it again. Path been declared. So I'm thinking this whole lot is going to be a problem. There's all of that. This is not completely what I wanted. Recordings. So there's no recordings yet. Check out the settings. So let's say settings here. Password. And we don't have a keyboard. So another failure, no keyboard. Like so. Add touch screen keyboard function to the HTML pages where needed. So I'm gonna try to ask it to add this to the pages where we need it, and let's see what comes from it. I already think I've made some damaging changes to my files or to the JavaScript file by just copying and paste, but let's see where we end up. Oh, so it's telling me it's a great idea, but I did tell it originally that's a touchscreen. So there's a new file, keyboards.css. So let's create that. It's not telling me where it must sit, so I'm assuming it will be on the public. And you can copy that whole code there, paste it in here. Then let's see what's next. There's a JavaScript. Again, just see if it doesn't tell me where to paste it. It's done outside keyboard, Wi-Fi, password, blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't tell me where it must sit. So it does tend to forget to put all information on that you need. It's quite a long file. So link source. Okay, so if it's linking there, then it should be then this, no, not that one. And we need to add it here as well. Keyboard JavaScript, and we will copy this whole leave irritating me. Copy this code. And then it tells me to include keyboard files in every page where you need it. So it just need me to keyboard fields. Okay, so I need to go to, let's have a look. Index, we don't need it. We only need it at recordings. The recordings, we will eventually want to type some of this information in, so let's add it there. And we also on the settings. So the settings will also have a link. And then it also tells me that I need to add a class. And Wi-Fi password page, let's copy that. It did work for me there, so I'm a little bit lost. So label Wi-Fi passwords is available at this, but that one. You see, this code is written so short. And there's the password input type. So input type, so we will need to copy that class in there if there's no class yet. And I'm thinking there might be a class. No, there's no class. So that should work. One thing I do miss, I really do miss, where do I set up all the profiles? I don't see that. Let's save this and restart. Should be not unlock, it should be back as well. So what I'm going to do, so there's my check password button. And I think I must add another button there. I'm not going to ask, and that button will be to go back to the main page. Okay, so I've added that manually. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get able to get out of this easily without restarting. So here we go, rebooting. So I still need to fix that date and time format. I don't like that format. Settings, by status, this layout I'm going to fix as well. I want some tabs, something similar to, I'll show you just now. Recordings, we don't have any recordings yet, which is fine. Settings, you say back, it goes back there, so that works. So there, you can go to recordings, settings, and I still don't have a keyboard. Back. So let's go back to so it's stated password usage, input Wi-Fi password class. There's a class. So virtual keyboard class. Yeah. And that virtual keyboard is part of that virtual keyboard class here. Okay, that says virtual keyboard. And if I go into my settings, it says VK input. Do you see VK input here? No, I don't see VK input. Well, welcome back. It's what, day 4, 5 of this build. Most of the video was day 1 that you all look at, and from there, basically, it went all downhill, trying to get AI or ChatGPT in this case to write the code, debug the code. Remember, the original idea was for me to ask ChatGPT with specifications to write the code, and it should return with a code or a program actually, which I could copy paste and then run, and if need, debug it with ChatGPT. So where are we now? So what I found is when it builds the files for me, let me take you into that section. For instance, here we will have updated the code again, and we'll run through, and it gave me a directory structure. And we'll start building code. We'll build for that one, build for XML recordings, and so on. But it will not build all of them. So if we go through, but we've got config, so update it again to an XML. Then it started a single backend. So eventually I went and said, maybe build all these files into one single backend. And again, it built the file, but some of the functions that it calls for is empty functions. And again, as in the first camera, we went through the same type of mistakes, a second, a third, a fourth time. Only difference is start giving me back less and less code and more files that need to be generated. So I had a lot of empty files that was generated. So coming back to what I have at the moment. So yes, our date format is right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see there's some green on my finger. This is portraying from a screen. I'm going to zoom you guys in just now to see something that ChatGPT actually did do nicely is the dark mode. So I've got a settings button, the settings, and I get to this screen. I'm just quickly gonna give you a rough idea of the color contrast we're getting. And that's something I'm going to use further on through this project as well. Even the button at the bottom, just get some odd reason that button is not that nice on the screen. The recording, and then there's nothing on the screen. Go to settings. This is also something new that came up. I didn't ask for this specifically. So ChatGPT decided to make a nice password screen with that. So I can press passwords 1, 2, 3, 4. I press OK. And then all my settings are gone. So basically my settings page that started to work at some point, all that code is gone, missing. So that's not cool. So I've lost interest in trying to resolve this with ChatGPT. So the way forward from here. Okay, so where are we now? I've decided to have a look at getting ChatGPT to create short pieces of code for me. So I've made a layout backend, basically from scratch, all the screens, and I've taken some of the layouts in dark mode that from a previous file. So if I go to settings again, see I've got this nice layout. So I can go to recordings, I can go back, I can go home again, I can go to settings, and what I've done is in Wi-Fi setup, I actually went and you see the text here, it takes all the Wi-Fi in the area. This section of code, what I've done is I had ChatGPT create or generate that code, just that section of code or function that I can call. So everything else I still wrote, but the functions to call these, I had ChatGPT create. Then what I also have done is I've said, okay, create me a function where if I press on any of these, I didn't say press, so create a function where if I give it a SSID, it will add it to a list. So when I click on this, I forward the SSID to a function which ChatGPT wrote or created. And with that, I can give it more commands. So I've started writing the front end and then just ask ChatGPT to write the back end for me. So this is where I'm at the moment. So I can do this keyboard. I also did. So you can see 909. Add it and it will add to the saved side. And what I'm actually busy with now is having between me and ChatGPT write the code or a function to save the information back to the INI file. But if you want to see more of that, that will follow on the next videos. Guys, in the comments below, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and in the comments, let me know where you dialing in from. I've started to lose some interest in this project, but with this now and doing small pieces of code, I think I'm making progress again. And I would like to get this thing done. So guys, I'll see you in the next one. With that, I'm out.